Me. 34 years old, married, we have 4-year-old daughter together. Laying in bed last night, having trouble sleeping. Just as I am drifting off to sleep, daughter wakes me up at about 2 in the morning because the toy she cuddles with has vanished. Get up, find her toy down the side of her bed, get her some milk and get her back to sleep. Head back to my bed. My wife is beside me, has to get up in a few hours to work early shift. She's obviously not sleeping easily either. Finally getting to sleep again, I hear her yawn. Her yawn morphs into a cacophony of about 5 or 6 screaming voices. I ignore it, recognizing that I am just imagining things, and finally get to sleep. I can't remember much about the dream I had. In the dream I am at some kind of Halloween party, with some familiar and friendly faces. My wife is there, telling me she discovered a mobile phone under her bed while cleaning. It doesn't belong to us, and she's concerned it's somehow spying on us. Accuses me of trying to play a prank on her. I assure I have no idea why she would find a random phone under the bed and she should just throw it away. In the dream, the night ends and I crawl into my bed to sleep. Wife comes into the room, asking me again about the phone and if I was really not responsible for freaking her out with it. I tell her to show me the phone so I can have a look at it. She hands me her purse where she apparently stored the phone. I pull it out. It looks like a basic iPhone but with the screen missing and the electronics visible. Try to make sense of it, meanwhile noticing that she is pulling out more random phones and placing them out on the floor. Ask her what's going on, asking her what the deal is with all these phones. She suddenly starts ignoring me, even as I wave my hand in her face and nudge her to get a response. A very creepy smile forms on her face. See picture. It was like exactly like this. The dream space goes dark, and I start to feel heavy. Me. Live in a small town on the Texas-Mexico border. Always heard rumors about cartel activity, but never took them too seriously. One night, walking home from work, hear strange chanting coming from an abandoned warehouse. Curiosity gets the best of me, so I decide to investigate. Peek through a broken window and see a group of men in masks surrounding a makeshift altar. They are chanting something in Spanish. Then I hear it, !Vamos a invocar a Son Goku. MFW. My blood runs cold as I realize they're trying to summon Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Frantically try to back away quietly, but step on a loose board, making a loud creak. The chanting stops abruptly, and all eyes turn towards me. Panic sets in as I bolt away, but I run straight into a guy taking a smoke break. Ah shit.jpg. Before I know it, I'm surrounded by these masked men. They grab me, drag me back to the altar, and tie me up. One of them, the leader I assume, approaches with a wicked grin. You interrupted our ritual, gringo. Now you must be sacrificed to appease Son Goku. I plead for my life, but they're not listening. They raise a sacrificial knife, chanting louder than before. Suddenly, the warehouse shakes violently, like an earthquake. From the shadows emerges a figure, glowing with an otherworldly aura. It's Goku, or at least someone dressed exactly like him. He looks around, confused, then spots me tied up on the altar. With lightning speed, he disarms my captors and unties me. Sorry about the mess, guys. Looks like you got the wrong guy, Goku says with a smile. He helps me to my feet as the cartel members cower in fear. Before leaving, Goku gives me a thumbs up and says, "Next time, be careful where you eavesdrop. And stay away from cartels." Watch in awe as Goku flies off into the night sky. Never been more grateful to have a guardian Super Saiyan. True story. Me. Live in a small town on the Texas-Mexico border. Always heard rumors about cartel activity, but never took them too seriously. One night, walking home from work, hear strange chanting coming from an abandoned warehouse. Curiosity gets the best of me, so I decide to investigate. Peek through a broken window and see a group of men in masks surrounding a makeshift altar. They are chanting something in Spanish. Then I hear it, !Vamos a invocar a Son Goku. MFW. My blood runs cold as I realize they're trying to summon Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Frantically try to back away quietly, but step on a loose board, making a loud creak. The chanting stops abruptly, and all eyes turn towards me. Panic sets in as I bolt away, but I run straight into a guy taking a smoke break. Ah shit. JPG. Before I know it, I'm surrounded by these masked men. They grab me, drag me back to the altar, and tie me up. One of them, the leader I assume, approaches with a wicked grin. "You interrupted our ritual, gringo. Now you must be sacrificed to appease Son Goku." I plead for my life, but they're not listening. They raise a sacrificial knife, chanting louder than before. Suddenly, the warehouse shakes violently, like an earthquake. From the shadows emerges a figure, glowing with an otherworldly aura. It's Goku, or at least someone dressed exactly like him. He looks around, confused, then spots me tied up on the altar. With lightning speed, he disarms my captors and unties me. "Sorry about the mess, guys. Looks like you got the wrong guy," Goku says with a smile. He helps me to my feet as the cartel members cower in fear. Before leaving, Goku gives me a thumbs up and says, "Next time, be careful where you eavesdrop. And stay away from cartels." Watch in awe as Goku flies off into the night sky. Never been more grateful to have a guardian Super Saiyan. True story. Me. My best friend and I agreed to go to a club in the center of my city. Before leaving, I proceed to buy things for a Cuban Santeria attraction bath. Mineral water, wine, some fruits and wine, apple essence. I managed to make the bath. Having to ask an African god called Shango to make me attractive to the opposite sex. Meet up with my friend whom we'll call Dimitri. Ready, we arrived at a club which we reserved. Notice that I steal glances. It worked. We get bored and my friend agrees to meet up with a friend. End up going to another crowded nightclub with a good atmosphere. Start drinking Red Bull with whiskey. Suddenly I see a tall, very white, blonde girl walk towards my table. She's coming towards me. His expression is as if he smelled something he liked and he was facing where I was. I noticed that the pupil of his eyes emitted an intense red light and shone in my direction. His eyes shine as if a laser were reflecting inside a glass bottle, feeling overwhelmed by what I just saw but at the same time hypnotized and making me stop paying attention to his eyes. He watches me while showing his fangs. She turns around and disappears into the crowd. Before that, she stops sniffing and, when she sees it's me, makes a disgusted face and walks away. Blade, Vampire Dance Club Theme. https://2.b/anu_eo703l2e C=E_X_8A8J7 Kazardamp. Plays in my head. I admit I smoke a lot of weed, and I admit my blood is tainted by it, and maybe she left because of it. End up scared and not talk about the subject. Me, some fucking proto-Moroccan in 590 AD love Christ, love wife, hate Africa. Walk north on the coast of the ocean. Resistance from local populations but my trusty crucifix eases tensions enough to travel. Wife pops out a son and a daughter. After about 5 to 6 years end up in some shithole called Neustria. Go to the local tavern and hear some Guido ranting in Latin about converting English pagans. The island he describes is the exact opposite of Morocco. Hitch a ride with the Guido and sail to Kent. Wife falls off the boat into the English Channel. 1,400 years before it was cool, what an OG. Arrive in Innerland. Realize I haven't walked west in over 6 years. Give Augustine the finger and take my kids west. Settle down in a place called Dorset. A few decades pass and my children are grown. Get raided by a band of roaming pagans resisting the Christianization of Innerland. They see my crucifix carved from the argan trees of Morocco. Get sacrificed to Ba gods. Children, killed to set an example. Christian neighbors give them a nice burial. Why Jesus is who he says he is. Me, 2 years ago. Porn addict since I was 12, now 23. In my room alone at 2 a.m. jacking off to some very bad shit with strangers. Only light available is the street lamp reflecting into my room's window and my laptop. All of the sudden time stops, energy shift, I'm paralyzed in my bed and I know I'm not alone. I don't think anyone who hasn't had a paranormal experience can understand this. Ceiling is making shadows and figures. Why haven't they been there the last 3 hours? Why do they move so fast? Shadows turn into a long humanoid figure in the corner of my ceiling. No face, it's a shadowy figure but I can tell it has extremely long fingers. It's like 8 meters in height. Starts arching my way. Without thinking, I grab my crucifix, thank God it was in my desk next to me, and say, Jesus Christ help me. Next thing I remember, I'm outside my room holding my crucifix. Sister is sleeping on the couch so I place my crucifix next to her, leave it there. Realize, my forearm has 3-line scratch, all lines from the same origin point. It's recent. Feels like a burn. I realized later this is how demons make a mockery of the Holy Trinity. Go back to my room. Feel absolutely nothing, no energy, no one is here. Sleep like a baby. The New Testament is full of stories of how many people believed in Jesus because he had the power to cast out demons. Let me tell you, when you're in a situation like mine, you know you have zero power over the spirit, you don't even think. There is no braveness, no dialogue, you're frozen in time. My only option was the name of Jesus Christ. It is the only power that can cast away demons, so what more evidence can one need? I hope my story helps any of you. I have no reason to lie and the scratch marks prove I wasn't dreaming. I still get strong fear and horror remembering, but now I fight to live in grace and have finished the Bible twice since that gift God gave me of seeing. Be me watching this shitty paranormal show on TV at 2 a.m. in the living room. Family went on vacation so I'm completely alone. They show a video of a woman sitting in a rocking chair with her baby. Demon behind her looking at her from window. MFW, I'm sitting on a chair. MFW, there's a window behind me. Start sweating and getting paranoid and looking behind me every 2 seconds. Show ends. Front door handle starts shaking uncontrollably. Oh fuck. My heart starts racing. Feel like I'm gonna pass out. Check the windows to see if there's anyone out there, but I see no one. Part of me thinks I'll see a demon looking back at me from the other side. Some time passes, I calm down and decide to open the door. My fucking cat runs inside. MFW, I realize it was her trying to open the door to get in. Now we have to lock every door with key because she just goes around the house opening doors in the middle of the night. Felt the need to share this because my life just became a lot more mystical. Be me. Ignore Chinaman TCM and Qigong because bug people be crazy. Have crippling health problems, obese, no energy, drinking, smoking, sick, joint pain, gout. Try everything for 7 years. Nothing works. So desperate I give Bugman a shot. See results in 12 hours. Discover energy body is totally real. I'm actually good at it too. I feel 5 years younger already and I'm experiencing weird X-level symptoms. Seriously, typically you shouldn't trust the Chinamen on anything but math and stratagem, however they also got the energy body down. Well, that's about it. As a new Bugman convert anything I guess. Be me. Materialist. Decide free will does not exist. If free will does not exist, I didn't decide that free will does not exist. If I didn't make decisions, what I decided cannot be trusted unless the mechanism which produced my choice was rational. Material has no rationality. My choice is to conclude free will doesn't exist would therefore be irrational even if I was right. Choose not to abandon thus stupidity and instead yell at some god or gods I don't believe in. MFW.